All right. Hello, chat. How's it going? Hopefully well. We're back. We're gonna fly planes, and we are not going to commit any war crimes. We are not. Definitely not. Trust me. But hello. MGS4... Hold on, does it have less than mobile? I don't think it does. Hold on. I mean, I know it numerically in total right now does, but MGS mobile video has been up for almost a month, and the MGS4 video has been up for 3 days. Hold on. I'm getting I'm pulling the numbers. YouTube mobile app, or YouTube Studio mobile app. It is ahead of mobile. It is ahead of Metal Gear Solid mobile. Don't worry. Relative to how long it has been up, it's ahead. But hello, Lego, Wizard Tibby, Jusuf, Zero, Cyber, hello. No war crime, no war crimes. Definitely not. Wink, wink. YouTube, no, YouTube, we're not. We're not. We wouldn't. Not this community. We would never, ever, ever. No. Not us. Definitely not us. I need my glasses on, probably. I'm getting ahead of the headache. Oh, and my controller's already plugged in. It's a good day. I didn't know if I had plugged it in after... What's it? Ultra Kill yesterday. Like the one game that I'm streaming right now that actually I have to unplug my controller, because otherwise the whole desk starts shaking from the amount of vibration in Ultra Kill. It's ridiculous.
My pulse raced at the astounding accomplishments of the mercenary known as Demon Lord. I forgot about my job and read everything I had on hand.
I forgot.
Around the time Demon Lord received his nickname,
Forgot they called him Demon Lord.
Of weariness regarding the war. Because the region was set up as a defense line to protect the birthplace of Belka in the north, the people's dissatisfaction had reached a climax. The cities declared themselves demilitarized and peacefully surrendered to the Allied forces. Unable to establish a defensive position, the Belkan army kept retreating to the north. The end of the war was fast approaching. I was given an opportunity to interview the former aces of the Belkan Air Force. Back then, they were the masters of the sky, and they had also known him.
The Demon Lord? They knew the Demon Lord?
So I crossed the border to follow his trail. I wanted to capture the war and the Demon Lord from their point of view. To capture the voices of those who were there.
Oh, we are getting an interview. I was like, was that actually the end of the cutscene?
Rot Team Commander, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 2nd Air Division, 52nd Tactical Fighter Squadron, Detlef Fleischer, also known as the Red Swallow. With his skill and demeanor,
Is there anyone here who has not seen these cutscenes before?
Today,
Perchance?
he is a professor of history at the University of Dinsmark.
Because if there is, me, perfect. Let me know what you think of this guy's acting. Just after the
I
cutscene.
was bursting with pride. I wanted to lead us to victory, for Belka's honor. Staying where it was nice and warm wouldn't accomplish anything.
I'm gonna turn it up even.
My flight's mission was to maintain air superiority in Area B7R, an essential area that we couldn't allow to be violated. That day, when I heard the order from HQ for reinforcements, I became angry. The station force was in chaos because of just 2 mercenaries. There was no way the mighty Belkan Air Force could lose to mere mercenaries. My pride was shot, and the round table was defiled. What went wrong? Whatever it may be, the fact remains I was forced to walk a different path in life than the one I had envisioned.
Is that where? Yeah, that's where his. This acting is so funny. Okay, I had to make sure it wasn't just me. Because I said in the video that the acting in some of the interviews especially was really rough. And I had a bunch of people who were like, I think the acting is fine. I think the acting is good even.
And he's still there to this day.
So I had to be sure it wasn't just me.
I met him above this very sky. I can still hear the sound of the missile alerts from that day.
It does kind of have like a Resident Evil PS1-esque charm. Not as extreme,
The southern defense line.
but it definitely does.
The order itself wasn't unusual. We kept being deployed from one mission to the next without receiving even the basic maintenance. But the situation was the same all around. We were late reaching the operational space. The station squadrons had already retreated, and warning bells were going off in the city. And the people were looking up to us.
Part of it, yeah. It has like an endearing quality to it.
He pursued me relentlessly. As soon as I thought I'd shook him off, there he was again. The never-ending sound of the missile alerts put fear in my heart for the first time.
This guy's better. The first guy, he was the one that I used clips of in the video when I talked about it, because I was like,
This man was head of the command group.
it is mostly like their faces and their body language. The voices sound fine,
Former member of the Belkan Air Force, 13th Night Fighter Air
but it's like the
Division,
mannerisms and stuff. They feel
He fled after the final battle in order to avoid
might be the
persecution
script.
for
No one
threats
talks
of
like that.
arms.
It's true.
He is still on the run and being hunted as an escaped killer.
I like this guy. I might turn him up real quick. Just
Sorry about the accommodations. Goes with the business. I'm not active during the day.
this guy's great.
Back then, I was a shadow assassin, an escapee killer. Given the order, I'd even shoot down my own comrades. I received an order to take down deserting craft on that day. It was a typical assignment. But something unexpected happened. My target was no new recruit, but a top ace of the Belkan Air Force.
He just had to go and run straight into the chaos at the round table.
The man was sharp, just like the rumors. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was that the mercenary team of Solo Wing and him were there. Thanks to them, I lost my target. I figured the least I could do was take them down in return. Of course, that was where my luck ran out.
What I did not catch.
Every
oh,
time
hold
I
on.
flew with him, his skill stood out. He was unstoppable. It didn't matter where the battlefield was. The man had complete trust in his own powers. He was born for battle.
They're
The
dubbed.
demon
Okay.
lord who struck down all
I know that
opposition.
Yuri is,
He paid no heed to the troubles.
because
of those
that's not Yuri.
Before long, everyone had taken notice of him. More and more would show up to watch him go off on sortie. Mercenaries or maintenance crew, it didn't matter. People wanted to burn his image to their memories. Hell, they weren't the only ones.
The guy in like the rundown building, I didn't notice it when I first played. In that cutscene, there's like a random couple lines where they changed his microphone, probably on a retake.
The Belkan forces are beginning to take flight.
The timing of the dubbing is really good though. It is. It is.
And the heart of its war productions.
The third interview guy, there's like a couple lines in there randomly where his microphone sounds really different and then it goes back. Like there's a couple lines in the middle that sound like they were retaken on a completely different setup.
Ground facilities by the Allied forces bombers. Your mission is to support those bombers and attack enemy facilities. We have achieved
The guy
air supremacy over the target
who's the
area.
mocap actor was a child actor in Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Resistance.
Also, hello, Jess. No war crime. No, we wouldn't. We would not. Never. Wait, hold on. What kind of plane do I need? Shit. Let me look at that map again. Yeah, this is a ground mission. Okay. I wasn't thinking when I first looked at it. Were there any... No. I was working on buying something. I guess I'm not buying anything. Inconvenient. What do you mean inconvenient time to join? Well, there's the F1. Didn't I? Yeah, I did buy the A10. Probably the A10. There it is. With the special skin. Special color. I love the little pilot guys that the PS2 games have. This is like the one time that I can really bring it up. I think I did mention it maybe when we played AC4 on stream. I don't know. I first noticed it when I was playing AC4 for the review. That on the rare occasion that you do get like a good look at the little fella in the pilot seat, he's so low poly because like you wouldn't see him. And even if you did see him, the game was running in 240? Do these games have progressive scan? I forget every time. I feel like I ask this. This has to be at least like the fourth time I've asked. But did these games run interlaced or progressive or either? Anyone know? In chat right now? Little fella. They are just little fellas in there.
All units, confirm a burning city up ahead. That must mean the bombing started.
Cover the Allied bombers. Eliminate all ground and aerial threats.
There, level myself. Because the canopy stays open in the hangar while it stays closed in 5. Is the pilot in the canopy? In the hangar in 5? Because honestly, I never even really noticed them in there. It could just be because it's open though. Definitely. It makes it a lot easier to see them. But in 4, it was like you would catch him from time to time. Like you would be able to see the little low poly Mobius. Man, the RCL in this game just sucks. When are we doing AC6? How many games until 6 again? Someone help me out here, throw me a bone. How many games are... That's a good question. Because my heart wants to say that 6 is next after this. My brain wants to say that that's wrong and that there's something in the middle. X. Thank you. I was like, okay, there has to be something. Because I feel like there was something. X, and then 6. The RCL in 6 is absurd. Like, chat told me about it in like an offhand mention before I even played the game. Someone brought it up. But nothing could have prepared me for what I saw. Don't mind me. Destroying the oil tanks. As you do. This is not a crime. I am being paid to do this, which means it's totally legal. That's how it works. I don't make the rules. Oh, broke our... At first I read that as broke one router. I was like, what do you mean one router? Are you on your computer right now? This might be a dumb question. On my laptop? On the... using the Wi-Fi? Because, you know, I'm no expert. But I think the internet is working. I'm joking! It's a joke. Good soldiers follow orders. That's true. Like the boss from Metal Gear Solid 3. Best soldier ever. Expert at work. I think it's working. It seems to be. Man, even when I think that I have like the easiest shot to get a big RCL explosion, I get like 2 targets. Uh-oh. Ow. Oh, that's an ace. Hello. Don't worry, I'll catch up soon enough. You just wait. Switch the route. What did he do to break it? You said he broke it? Or did it just break? Like randomly? "90-degree vertical climb in an A10, it works wonders." Actually, just like a couple days ago, I don't remember which video exactly I got the comment on, but someone commented and was like, "I've noticed a pattern in these videos of you seemingly using the A10 in the most random missions, like at least once a video." And it made me so happy. I was like, someone actually caught on that I have to use the A10 once in every video. Someone finally said it out loud. Other than me. I've said it out loud before that that was a thing that I tried to do. But, someone, like, organically noticed it as they were watching through, and it made me so happy. Hit? The fuck? You can just tank a missile now? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, it's not a helicopter. I thought this was another chopper. I just saw the C after shooting the other one down and figured they were the same thing. Ignore me. It actually makes a lot of sense that it tanked it now. It's a car. Yeah, I thought it was another chopper. Because I looked at the C. I figured they were the same. He blocked my MAC address on the router as petty revenge. That's funny revenge. Triggered a bug on the router, which meant it started to block everything instead of just me. He attempted to restart it, only for it to brick and not turn back on. That's... Okay, note to self, don't do the MAC address thing. That is really funny, though. That's like the most... I've never heard someone before be like, oh yeah, they wanted revenge, so they blocked the MAC address on my computer. What? Small amount of trolling. It's hilarious. I love that. Might keep it in mind if I have a stable router, like a router that I trust enough with it. I know enough about routers and such to do that conveniently. I'm actually keeping that in mind. That's why I always blame him if my internet drops. I had already gotten hit. I was doing the thing where I was like, oh, I can take it. It's the end of the mission. I wasn't thinking straight. You didn't see anything.
That must mean the bombing started.
Blocking the MAC address on... I feel like I should be writing it down, like taking notes. That would be incredibly funny. You guys know the, Still think it's easier? I don't know yet. Because 5's AI is pretty lax, all things considered, until it's not. So I'm kind of waiting for the until it's not part, because maybe that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, the best pilots in 0 aren't as good as the best pilots in 5. Maybe that's where I was coming from. Gave him slightly less dessert. No, that's cruel. That is just wrong.
Galm 1, Box 2.
A tomahawk just hit the city. Are those guys serious? This is PJ. Something strange is going on down there.
Artificial because of the timer. I don't feel like arcade is that bad. I feel like the couple fights in 5 are like, ooh, I got 3. Sorry. I'm trying to remember the name. The 8492 mission is fucking batshit. Professional terms. Scientific terms. Better. That's a better way to put it. In scientific terms, that mission is absolutely crazy. Like the 8 aces on the final mission can be pretty wild. I think I was looking at it more like the best of the best in 5 were more dangerous than the best of the best here. I don't know. I don't know exactly what I said. Nor what I was thinking. God, the 0 review was so long ago now. Thinking about that. It's like someone dropped a timestamp on the AC 5 review the other day. Like in the comments, they dropped a timestamp and were like responding to something in it or commenting on something in it. It was something in the clip. It wasn't something I said. And I had to just like look at it because when a video is pretty fresh, I can see a timestamp and like read what's there and generally know what they're talking about. But I had to actually go and open the video to understand what they were saying. War crimes? No. No. Harder in other missions? That might be true. So far, it feels about the same. But I'm not to the end yet, and I'm also still only... Does this game scale the AI behavior with the difficulty? It's hard to keep track of which Ace Combat games do and don't, because 5 didn't, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think 5 did. Or 4? You mean nuh-uh? Yeah, it's certified nuh-uh moment. I don't think 5's or 4's AI got any better, like with the difficulty going up. The PS1 games, I think, well, 2 I don't think does. Air Combat and AC3, definitely the AI gets more advanced on higher difficulties. Like 100%, no doubt in my mind, sort of thing.
All facilities in the main sector have been destroyed.
Really easy to take down. Well, yeah, once you know to just immediately special weapon them, it's a lot easier. But as a wee noob, fighting them for the first time, they were a pain. Like, Megalith in AC4 was also hard for me the first time, but then we go back for stream to do it, and it's like, haha, qualms go burr. This time, I'm not gonna get shot down. Watch this. I'm approaching at high speeds. I love this plane. What did I tell ya? Qualms, that's what we call them. Qualms. If it could be said as a word, even if it sounds stupid, I typically do. I could say QAAM. I could say SAAM. Or I could say Quam and Sam. So I do. Ow, fucker. Why is there an F-35 here? Get away. Get away. No, please. No, please. Oh my god. Pixie. 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 Cover me. You're supposed to be covering me, Pixie. Oh my god. The Demon Lord needs help. Why is he targeting that one? Okay. He's at least targeting something. I'll take it. Because before he wasn't doing jack shit. Those missed. That was a straight line. Where the fuck is Pixie? If I hit him, if I say attack, will he do something? Why is he targeting that one? Or is that the other friend down there? Oh, shit. I wanted that kill. No, I think that is Pixie, because he's not targeting either of these. What the fuck? Everyone always says that Pixie's AI is so much better than the AC5 squad, too. My experience so far has not been such, to put it lightly. I want Edge and Chopper back. I'm gonna run out of missiles. It's gonna be bad. I don't know where that's coming from. That was scary. Commander use special. Doesn't help if he's not locking onto anything. Plus, I gave him bombs. Oh my god. That was insane. That was really bad timing. Like really bad. Jesus Christ. Pixie, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
That must mean the bombing started.
Cover the Allied bombers. Eliminate all ground and aerial threats.
I need Pixie to pick it up. Sometime, like every once in a while. Every once in a while. Pixie, I need something off of me. F-15? No. A-10. A-10 always. Why are you using an A-10 in any AC game? Because it's the greatest plane on the roster in every game it appears in. Unless the F-117A is available. In which case, that's always even better.
They're just tossing bombs all over the place.
Also, lightning camo. I rest my case. Fuck. Ow! RCL, please. It really makes me miss AC6 RCL, like, so badly. So badly. Low tier god camo. What was it? Yesterday. It wasn't the low tier god thing. Everyone knew what I was talking about with the low tier god thing. Oh, it was when I brought up, what's the song called? Seabat, the Seabat thing from like a few years ago. The Seabat guy. And there were people who hadn't seen it before. God, that... Ooh. As someone who does not use Reddit, that has to be the funniest thing to ever come out of Reddit. But to be fair, I can't think of any other like big noteworthy like Reddit posts like that. Should get RCL'd now. I'm trying to. What could you do for the A10? Get Burt gunned now. I had a buddy recently who he has started playing the Ace Combat games for the first time on my recommendation. You guys know what he asked me? He started with Ace Combat 7. Not my recommendation, but that's what he did. You know what he asked me, chat? Like right after he started the game, he was like, "Yeah, it's pretty fun. Is the A10 in it?" And I was like, or actually he asked me, "Is the Warthog in it?" And I was like, "The A10? The big bomber?" He's like, yeah, that one. And I was like, "It is actually in that game, yeah." And he was like, "Oh, awesome. I really want to fly an A10. I just held my tongue. I just didn't say anything. I didn't tell him. I couldn't bring myself to tell him. That was like the one plane that he immediately was like, bro, does it have an A-10? I want to fly an A-10. I didn't have the heart to tell him. Oh boy. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. I'll let him get there himself. And then he's gonna be like, why didn't you tell me? I'll come up with a reason. Actually, because of the way that the aircraft tree worked in 7, speaking of the A-10, it was the one review that I didn't sneak a random ass A-10 mission into. Because I never unlocked it. I wanted a bunch of other planes, like, for footage. And I just... The A-10 wasn't worth it. Even for, like, the consistency of me having clips of flying the A-10 in, like, the most stupid mission ever. Like, I just get to an air-to-air mission where I'm like, ah, yes, this is the time for the A-10. Right here. It wasn't worth it. Why did it take the girlfriend 2 years to tell him? It's not even the dude's fault. That is like the funniest thing too, is that she just didn't say anything for 2 years of it. It's so good. Other attacker in the base game? Yeah, there weren't many attackers in 7, right? How many were there? There's not only 2, right? Tell me it's not only 2. Because I feel like everything in 7 was a fighter or a multi-role. It is legitimately 2. A-10 and SU-34. Oh my god. It's actually only 2. Jesus Christ. 2 without DLC. Wow. That's insane. Although, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there were a bunch of planes in there that, like, in previous games had been designated as attackers that they instead had labeled as multi-role in 7. At least I vaguely remember that. Am I wrong? I feel like I remember that being a thing. Could you guys, like, turn to fly up at me? That would be sweet. Oh, I missed. God damn it. I thought that would hit him. Huh? Pixie, there's someone up my ass. Could you please? Where is Pixie? Which of these blips? Is he the white one on the radar? Is he differentiated by having, like, the hollowed out arrow? Is that Pixie? Ah! Holy shit. Oh. Is the white one? Okay. So he is at least, like, with me. For a second, I saw, like, the little blue, like, notches on the edge of my radar, and I thought one of those was gonna be him. So I was like, where is he? Like, what is he doing? Ow, what the fuck? Pixie! If I get shot down again, I'll give him an air-to-air weapon and have him turn on specials, because holy shit. Melting you? Yeah, this is... I normally don't struggle in the A-10 this much. when I do fly it for the hell of it. It's normally not this bad. This is a particularly bad dogfight for it. Oh my god. This guy. This is like the one time I'm gonna say this while flying the A-10. Could you fly faster? That was incredibly close. I should not have pulled up until after I got around it. Just have him disperse. I had him on attack last time and he didn't do a goddamn thing. So I kind of just am gonna leave him on cover and hope that he actually does something. Hope that he actually gets one of them off my back at some point. He's targeting that guy. So he's, ooh, he's trying. Oh, I shouldn't have slowed down. I really wanted the shot, but it was not worth it. Even like a little machine gun shot is gonna clip me. I gotta keep the speed going. There we go. Oh, shit. He just shot one down. I saw one disappear. Woo. Oh, I hit one. I'll take it. I don't know what came over me to shoot a missile there, but if it works, it works. Come here, bitch. Oh, that's not one that I had hit before. There's 2 of them out here, 3 of them now that I've hit with a missile already. There we go. How many F-35s are there? Asking for a friend. Oh my god. Bro, I'm gonna run out of missiles. And then we're gonna be in a really bad spot. Okay, surely this is gonna go well. Where are they? Oh. Come here. Fuck it. Shit. Come on. I have a dream. Would have been sweet. There's still a chance. Oh, one of them was so close too. Oh, come on. There we go. No RCLs.
Ignore the civilians. Our priority is withdrawing the troops out of the area. Abandon Block D. Join up with this company from Block C. Don't leave anything behind for the Allied forces. Mission objective fulfilled. All units, return to base. Damn them all.
Nobody knew why they were fighting anymore. All I felt at that point was sadness for the world. That's why
That's why you what? Look at that beauty of a plane. Look at that beauty. Right there.
Pursued
With
by Allied
regen
forces,
missiles?
The Belkan forces have taken flight, abandoning Hoffner. Without
Do
military
missiles in
production
7
capabilities,
regenerate?
Belka is in a bind. We were also able to confiscate samples of what seemed to be experimental weapons from the abandoned war factories, before Belka had time to use them.
If you use all your missiles? What? You get 2 back, but slowly. This is news to me. That's... I never even noticed it. I don't think I really ran out of missiles, though. That's probably why. It probably because I was sitting there worried about running out of missiles, so I never did. Like, I was always saving them, right? Well, that's news to me.
There are still pockets of resistance holed up in the industrial city of Sudentor. Although fleeing, the Belkan army continues to fight back, and are using the Valdreich Mountains as a final line of defense, in an attempt to prevent our army from reaching northern Belka. For this mission, we would like you to assist the Allied ground troops by clearing the skies of enemy fighters.
I could do that.
The South Belka munitions factory is located in Sudentor, which means the remaining troops, although few in number, are well outfitted. Head to the designated operations rendezvous location at point 203.
Don't use the A-10 for this mission. See, now you've tempted me. Could use a MiG-31. Like, there's new options. Hell, I could use a Mirage. That would be perfectly fine for air-to-air. What a beautiful plane. Another beautiful plane someday. Nothing wacky or uncharacteristic will happen. Well, even if it did, I would surely be perfectly fine. Oh, qualms on this thing though? Okay. No, I'm flying the 31. It's happening. Especially because qualms. There you are. Do I have any skins for it? I do! Oh! Yes, please. I forgot this thing turns like a fucking fridge.
We're both getting married for the first time.
It'll work. You know what it does? Speed.
Ground team, do you read me? Head for Valdreich to take out any remnant forces the Belkans could have positioned out there. Galm 2, what's the
Coming off the A10. This thing is a little fast.
Emergency transmission from Allied HQ. A Belkan bomber squadron equipped with nuclear weapons has taken off close to you.
Fast per hour.
In this airspace. Galm Team, Grub Team, head to intercept.
Roger.
Oh, a little too much.
I'll stop them. This war would end if they blew everything up. We can't let them use those nukes.
Do whatever it takes to stop them. Prepare to engage enemy. 5 miles remaining. 4 miles remaining.
Getting there. Oh, they're high up.
I see them. Enemy fighters with nukes.
Just let the Quam do its thing. $38. Jesus fuck. I'm sorry, I thought this was only hard mode. God damn. This thing is fun. I like this. The MiG-31 is a good time.
To all units in this airspace, stop the nuclear attack. Shoot
Was there a MiG-31 in 5?
Warning. Change course immediately. Return to base or you'll get shot down. The enemy's attacking each other? Eliminate anyone who attempts to interfere. They're no longer our allies. Don't hesitate to shoot them down.
Don't worry about that now. Just concentrate on shooting down those bombers.
Sorry, I have crimes to commit. I mean, what?
Take them out while they're still confused.
It wasn't 5. I must have just used it a lot early on and then never touched it again then. Because I feel like it's been ages since I've flown one.
Stay on until we reach the destination point.
We'll circle back around for totally not crimes. Why are these guys considered neutral anyway? Why are these 31s neutral? I mean, they're flying circles like in the middle of this bomber and fighter formation. Oh, they're also trying to whose are they? They don't attack. Yeah, but normally the neutral targets are like a ground target that's just not necessary. Or, what's it? Like a disabled plane. Oh. Oh, that? Okay. They're Belkans also? So why the fuck am I shooting at them? Oh, they're a split faction of Belk. Okay. I was like, what?
Hey there. You gonna get remarried to your girl? We're both getting married for the first time.
Grub Team, do you read me? Head for
crazy of me to shoot at them. I stand by it.
Galm 2, what's the problem? You're behind.
Don't worry, I'll catch up.
I feel like 7 didn't talk about the Belkans at all. You just aren't there yet, my friend.
Emergency transmission from
The Belkans are probably the most important,
with nuclear weapons has taken
or Belka is probably the most important, what's it,
are approaching this airspace.
country
Team, head to intercept.
in Ace Combat lore? Maybe not. Maybe Osha, Osha? I don't know. They change the pronunciation all the time, but that one.
We can't let them use those nukes.
Prepare to engage enemy. 5 miles remaining. 4 miles remaining.
I see them. Enemy fighters with nukes.
Absolutely the most important. I feel like Osea is always like the central player. Lore-wise, Belka is probably the most important. But Osea is kind of like the... They seem to always be in the middle of everything. But even like 7, I thought that Belka was just not really gonna be in 7. Until like right at the end when Raiden's in chat and he's still playing it, so I feel I'm not going to. Boosh boosh.
Don't worry about that now. Just concentrate on shooting down those bombers.
This is perfect. Let's use it against them. Take them out while they're still confused. Do they intend to wipe our homeland off the map? That's crazy.
Come on, Quam. Go for another circle. It's still out there. Ah, okay. That would have been an awesome shot. Sorry, you two, but I am on a path. Gotta do what I gotta do here. Whoa, you are right up my butt. Really nerfed them after 4? Bro, in 4, they are ridiculous. It's a good thing they nerfed them. Like 4, they've got the tracking, they've got the uptime. They are just obscene in 4. They really should not have been anywhere near as good as they were. I feel like 5 and 0 have like good qualms that don't destroy the balance like the ones in 4 do. Because in 4, it really is like, if I can take them, I'm going to. Because every single time I shoot one, it's like a fire and forget, and my kill is basically guaranteed. Like, there's maybe like a 10% chance that it doesn't circle back around and get the target, but it's a really small chance. I might just have to shoot down the objective planes here.
We're too late. Don't be stupid. This won't solve a thing.
They're getting shot down. Eesh. Five and 0 have the TLS. The TLS is just a different, really broken special. Probably more broken. Yeah, I would say the TLS is more broken than Qualms in 4. That actually hit. That's crazy. Flying lightsaber, you're not wrong. That's the best part. TLS in 5. I haven't used it in 0 yet, but since 0 uses all the same framework, I'm assuming it's just as good. Straight up Death Star. All you need is TLS in 5. Nothing can stop you. These are gonna fly right at me. Fuck off, Pixie. Don't do it. Whoa. There's a lot of yous. And my Pixie isn't here. And I didn't save any of my qualms. I was kind of like, oh yeah, just use them, because I'm not going to use them later. Completely forgetting about this ambush. Oh, we're doing fine, though. This works. Yep, my timing once again. How do I time things like that? How do I manage?
Hey there, you gonna get remarried to your girl? We're both getting married for the first time.
How do I do that?
Rogue team, do you read me? Head for Voltryke to take out any remnant forces the Belkans could have positioned out
The
there.
pulse laser in 7 is way better. Oh, than the TLS in that game?
You're behind.
Surely? I know that you don't just mean the TLS in like 5 and stuff. Tuned in at a good time. Yeah, that timing could not have been much better, really. That was just
Emergency transmission from Allied HQ.
a plane that can actually turn. No. Who wants a plane that can turn? To be fair, if you're moving at high speeds, using the actual pitch to turn works pretty well on the 31. But then you have terrible, what's it, turn radius because of the speed. Just in time for dramatic irony. I don't know how I so consistently do it.
I see them. Enemy fighters with nukes.
TLS is borderline bad in 7? Really? Bad even. Oh god. Not the missiles, please. Not the missiles. Oh, also if I just, have a few qualms at the end. will be good. Come here. You guys don't get to go in there. Whoa. Okay. I was gonna be pissed if those got thrown off by the turn. You know, this thing's pretty great when you're fighting other 31s. Particularly, it's noticeable. Oh, I thought I would have a lock sooner.
Don't worry about that now. Just concentrate on shooting down those bombers.
This is perfect. Let's use it against them. Take them out while they're
Yo. Oh, that was, there we go. I definitely could have used the gun there. It's fine. Good afternoon. Hello, Ryan. Good afternoon. You here to enjoy some plane flying? Oh God, the cockpit view in this thing. Bring me back out to here. I changed my mind. Oh fuck. What a shot. Okay, that made up for it. That was a beauty. I'm gonna try to not get double missiled at the end this time. You know, as I happen to do here and there. I do, the 31 is really fun to fly. Zero's biggest flaw is the campaign is too short. I mean, the campaign is short, but I feel like it's got like a nice brevity to it in a way, you know? It could have had more missions for sure, but it feels like it's got a good length to it. At least for me. I definitely think it was supposed to be like a smaller scale project, you know? What the fuck? Where was that machine gun fire coming from? The air? What was that? Did you guys see what I was talking about? There was like a random machine gun shooting at me out of thin air. What the fuck is... Ah! As a tail gunner? I was getting getting shot at from over like on the side where there wasn't another bomber. Unless I'm mistaken, I don't think there was a bomber over there. Because there was the one that I was flying at, like off a little to my left. I was getting shot at from like over on my right. Just built different in terms of release schedule. Well, it's because the games, like on the scale that they were being made at the time, were easier to produce in that amount of time. Like I was recently talking about, what's it? Flying one-handed is not something you should do, chat. I was talking recently about how I uninstalled one of my greatest vices in life, Unreal Engine. Did I say uninstall? Reinstalled Unreal Engine to my computer recently, which I haven't done in a long time. And I've just been like plugging away at this side project. Last night, after I finished up my work for the night, I went to, you know, chill out and kind of plug away at some stuff, and I might have spent like 4 hours setting up like animation blend spaces and stuff like that. The game's just... they're on a scale where if you actually take advantage of the tech that we have now, development is much more time consuming than it used to be. Boosh. Oh. I can change targets, that's fine. Ow, fuck! That hurt. Check this shit. Kaboosh.
This is where we go our separate ways.
Goodbye. I'll miss Yuri. Well, for the time being.
We were unable to
A
confirm
Belkan programmed emulator.
Don't know all the details yet. With multiple nuclear detonations.
I hope a future game has an AC5 length campaign. 5 is like, I feel like Ace Combat game, or Ace Combat Games, plural. I feel like the sweet spot for length is like 6 hours for Ace Combat. I feel like shorter than that and the game feels short. Like a Zero or Assault Horizon, like they feel short if they're like less than 6-ish hours. But or like AC2. AC2 is really short. But I feel like AC5 feels a little on the long side. For me at least. I feel like it's a little too long. I feel like the games that have like the perfect length, I would say 7 is one of them. 7 is a little longer actually, I think. Isn't 7 like
June 6th,
8 hours
1995.
or so? I think.
I was still in school at the time, but I'll never forget the images I saw on the news that day.
For beating it in 4 hours?
Set off 7 nuclear explosions on their own soil.
You'd have to be zooming. At least I would think.
Maybe their old militaristic leaders couldn't stand the idea of Allied forces invading their land. And declared to the world that the land to the north was the Holy Land of Belka. According to official records, more than 12,000 people died. It was a grand self-sacrifice that engulfed all. The only thing remaining was the desolate landscape. How did the people of Belka feel about what they saw? And what did he think of it when he looked down on it from the sky?
Around 10 hours? There's no way. I might have checked my Steam playtime. Oh, but I played a little bit of multiplayer with a buddy as well.
Remaining enemy troops gathered in the Yering mine area in northwest Belka.
So my playtime will be inflated.
Numerous divisions of the Belkan army refuse to accept the change in government and are disobeying the command to disband.
Let's blaze, I mean play. Hey, you can blaze all you want.
There are still plenty of them. The Higher Lark base, located in Ocean territory, has been arranged for your refueling. If your tank is low, go there and
Why is it showing me a typhoon in the corner? Is my camera covering it a little bit?
Galm Team, Crow Team will be joining you. We're counting on your best performance yet.
Hold on. I am curious to check. I have 11 hours played. How long does he have played? 2 hours? So I guess it probably took me like 9.5 hours. I would have to estimate. I didn't feel like 7 was that long, but 7 was probably just way more well-paced than 5. Because that's about as long as AC5 is. But I guess 7 just had a way better campaign pacing to it. Well, the first few missions are pretty slow. It's got a bit of a slow start, but mission like 4, it picks up. And from that point on, feels real good, if you ask me. Hold on, how long did Assault Horizon take me? 7? Oh no, some of that was me. Never mind. 6 probably, because some of that time was me throwing in some extra fixes and stuff for the game. Not that were like necessary, but that I wanted. Like stuff that made the aliasing look better. Nerd shit. How many hours in Elden Ring? Okay, fine. I have it installed conveniently. 276 hours in Elden Ring. Dude, you know what I played with a friend recently? Sorry, I just saw it pop up. I played this with people from the Tekken streams. Owen, you can see him there. Dude, he and I both tried Vermintide 2 for the first time recently. Because we both picked it up for free like ages ago when they were literally just giving the game away on Steam. But neither of us ever touched it. We played it for like 80 minutes. When was that? Last week? A little over a week ago? That was fun. Like, I had heard that game was fun. Well, that game was really fun. We just haven't had schedules that have lined up, but we are definitely going to play that game more. My highest is 302 on BeamNG. Okay, hold on, chat. Everyone who you don't have to participate, but if you want to. What is your most played game on Steam, on your account? Of people who have Steam users. And how many hours? I want to see if anyone beats out my legendary time that some people know about. Not everyone. But I wonder if anyone will have my my ridiculous game time beat. My game time seems ridiculous. My most played, when I pull it up, it's going to seem insane. Does it have to be Steam? No. Do you have a game with more playtime on not Steam than on Steam? $26K on Final Fantasy 14. When did 14 come out? Well, okay, there's 2 Final Fantasy 14s. I know the Final Fantasy 14 lore. Let me give you the benefit of the doubt. A lot of that has to be AFK time, right? Surely. Obviously, a lot of that is active time, but a good bit of that's got to be AFK time, right? Surely. Because 26K? When did the second... Oh, I think I got my answer. The original version shut down November 2012. When did the new version go up? Oh, 2013. August 2013. There it is. I got my answer. On Trains 2019. Which Final Fantasy? I'm assuming the new one. I would have to assume. 140 on New Vegas. New Vegas is a good one. DCS. MGS 5. Car Company Tycoon game. MCC. I saw 2 MCCs. Based, by the way. GTA 5. That's that online grind. I know where those hours are coming from. 858 on The Sims 4. 1500 on Forza 4 or Horizon 4, sorry, very different. Probably put a couple hundred hours in Destiny 1. Yeah, I don't know any of my old like Xbox playtimes. A lot of those hours AFKing while working from home. Okay. That seems reasonable because I know my RuneScape hours if I had like a lifetime, like old school. If I had like a lifetime hour count of my RuneScape across all the different accounts and stuff that I've had as well, it would probably seem ridiculous, but RuneScape, you know, it's the kind of thing where like you pull it up and you're kind of like watching something or doing something else and you're like skilling in the background, right? Old school players know what I'm talking about. Let me pull mine up. It's Call of Duty. Warning. I have 1,021 hours in Call of Duty World at War. This is where I'm like, if you know the lore, you know that this isn't as ridiculous as it seems. But a lot of people see this at random and they're like, you have over 1,000 hours in a Call of Duty game. Yes. But if you don't know the Chole lore, before I did variety stuff on YouTube, I was a dedicated zombie streamer on Twitch. I played all the zombies. I still, to this day, like in my free time, play all the zombies. Except for like, yeah, I don't really play Vanguard. I played it a good bit. I probably played more Vanguard than the vast majority of people, but I don't really play it. And when I streamed zombies as like a dedicated thing, at first I was pretty casual, but over time, just from like the amount of time I was putting in, I got pretty fucking good. Like really pretty good. And I used to run records when I streamed zombies. I started getting into like running speed runs and like high rounds and stuff like that. And actually the game that I was best at was World at War, like over time. Like some of my highest rounds in zombies, not just numerically my highest, but also numerically my highest, are in World at War. But like some of my most impressive records were in World at War. Like I've got, for people who know COD Zombies, of course my Shinonuma record is numerically my highest on World at War, because if you know, you know. If you don't know, the map is broken as fuck in solo play. And so you can get to, I think the world record on Shinonuma, I don't know, I haven't been in the community for a while. I think currently is like 10 or 11,000 on World at War Shinonuma. So like, yeah. I had like round 1,000 something on World at War Shinonuma. I don't know what. My World at War knocked record, I think was 232, I want to say. 230-ish. I was good at World at War. World at War was my best. So I played a good bit of it. Only World at War map I was bad at was Darice. That's because they fixed the spawning on Darice, and they made it a lot harder in doing so. Fix the spawning relative to like how it would work in modern games. World at War was the first zombies, yeah. Is PJ Galm 2 now? That's actually a good question. Back in the 360 days, yeah, Black Ops 2 zombies. My thing with Black Ops 2 zombies, and I've talked about it before, And it was a hot take even when I was in zombies. And now outside of like the more dedicated COD community, it is a spicier take than even when I was just like among the dedicated COD zombies guys. Black Ops 2 Zombies has like some of the best mechanics. Like probably out of the whole series, it's like the second best out of like just the core gameplay. It has Origins and Mob of the Dead, so it has like 2 of the best maps in the entire franchise. But the rest of the maps in Black Ops 2 Zombies aren't good. Like Transit and Die Rise and Nuketown. The map selection outside of like the handful of like the small amount of really good maps, it's not great. To be fair, I have a bit of a guilty pleasure for Die Rise, but I recognize that it's a bad map. Like game design wise, it's bad. It's a poorly made map. It's wacky and I like it because it's different, but like it's not good. Allowed you to camp and get high rounds. Yeah. I did a lot of Black Ops 2 high rounding as well. Like pushing leaderboards and records and stuff. The Paralyzer is what you're thinking of on Buried. The one that like slows zombies down and you can fly with it and stuff like that. That weapon for casual play is amazing. But for like actual high rounds, like records sort of thing, it's actually not very viable because the damage drops off so hard that at like, I think it's like 70, like round 70, it becomes non-viable to camp with it anymore. Which is why I say, like, if you're just playing casually, like, yeah, that thing is fucking ridiculous. Because no one who's playing the game casually is even going to 70. They're quitting before that. They're not going that far. But when you're pushing like into the hundreds and doing records and stuff, it actually is not a great weapon past that point. And the strat that I think they still use it today for high rounding that map is that you do use the Paralyzer to like fly around, but you have to like build all the buildable stuff, like all the traps and such, and then like try to use those. But the downside is that you have to have like the turbine that powers them. So you have to like get set up in this one spot, and you have to set down your traps and the turbine to power them, but you can only carry one of those items at a time with the way that Black Ops 2 is made. So you get this strat where like people do just sit there and literally do nothing and let the traps run for like 30 seconds or so. But then there's this frantic like sprint around the map to grab everything again. And then you sit there and do nothing. And then it's this frantic sprint again. And it's really wild to watch, especially because most guys who push records stream it, because it takes such a ridiculous amount of time that YouTube videos aren't really viable when your games are lasting like tens of hours just to get recorded. So most of them stream. And so you'll just be sitting there and like there's this absolutely insane run around the map where they nearly die like 3 times every time. And then they just sit there and do nothing and talk to chat for like 20, 30 seconds. And then it loops over and over again. And it's so weird. It's such a strange map to watch. Which Ace Combat protagonist is the most badass in terms of feats? In terms of feats, throws... I mean, I was gonna say Mobius 1. I feel like that's the coldest take ever, but in terms of feats, he's still up there. Trigger would probably be up there as well. Trigger would have to be up there, definitely. Trying to think. What's his name? Fuck, Bishop. I'm saying it. I'm bringing him in. He counts. Bishop is up there. All of the DFM stuff that Bishop does in Assault Horizon, that shit's canon. That's just actually how that dude flies. He's that insane of a pilot. He's gotta be up there, legitimately. Like, it's kind of a joke, but genuinely. Bishop would have to be on the list. He didn't, like, bring down any crazy super weapons, but, like, have you seen the way he flies? Imagine if you zoomed the camera out, like, a lot, so you could actually see what he's doing in DFM. Just think about it. The dude is a fucking menace in the sky. There's no one else like him. I'm gonna end up on the Ace Combat Discord server again. We're gonna... if I keep saying shit like that. Ah! Yeah, Blaze would be up there. I feel like there's a ton of them that are... I'm trying to think, like... Can someone jog my memory on the guy's name from 6? I can't remember his name right now. What's the protagonist's name in 6? Talisman, thank you, Talisman. I feel like he's noticeably lower on the ranking in terms of like feats and stuff. Because he has a couple really crazy ones. No, Shamrock is the wingman. I like Shamrock. That's one of my spicy takes among the community, is that I actually like Shamrock. But dude, Talisman is, he's gotta be up there, right? Had to return my memory and buy another set? It would not work, really? Another set as in like a completely different, like model? It's an issue with the way XMP works with 4 sticks. Oh, that makes sense. I was like, it's just a shit model of RAM? But no. That does make sense. I feel like I was told something about whatever you're talking about with the 4 sticks. Because when I was building this new rig, and I was talking to my buddy about it, I'm like, yeah, I'm only getting 2 sticks of RAM to start. And then, like, if I need more later, it's RAM. Like, I can just slot it right in, right? It's not hard. And he was like, oh yeah, that's good. Because he was gonna tell me about something where like once you're using more than 2 sticks, it's like a massively diminishing return or something like that. It might be similar to what you're talking about. It kind of went over my head. I was focused on so many other things about the build that I don't really remember what it was. I'm going in nice and slow. I'm taking my time. This is a nice chill landing. Interesting learning point. Yeah, he was saying something about using more than 2 RAM sticks. I don't remember what he was talking about. But he was warning me about something that I apparently completely disregarded and forgot about until almost a year later, which is great. He doesn't watch the streams. It's okay. This is one of my buddies who does not watch my YouTube stuff at all. An unfortunate amount of them do. At the very least, all of them stick to my rule. Almost all of them. Owen doesn't, but that's because Owen... YouTube chat knows Owen now, relatively. So he likes to say hi. But when I moved to YouTube and they were all like coming over here initially, I was like, boys, listen, you can hang out in the chat. Like, you can have the stream open. I don't care. Don't tell me that you're in there. Don't make yourself known. I don't want to know. Just don't. And they all like actually stopped messaging in chat. And Owen did too. He didn't message in chat for a long time until like Tekken came out and chat got enough Owen appearances. Means it uses 2 channels for RAM speed, so leaving 1 slot free between stick. Yes, okay, that is what he was telling me about. That, what you're saying, exactly. Because that is how we set it up too. In the first and the third slots. That is exactly what he was probably telling me about. Because I am using DDR5, of course.
The transport planes are preparing to leave the area. What's going on here?
Locked on. Missile hit.
It shits the bed when you try and overclock. That's probably why he was telling me about it.
Approaching gun range.
Does speed play a role in the RAM? Yes.
Galm 1, box 2.
And I think that was like the thing is that you can use more than 2 sticks.
Target destroyed.
But I think that you get like massively diminishing returns in terms of the speed when you do.
Radar lock.
I'm trying to just remember it off of this super vague memory. And what little bits I'm gathering from chat being like, oh, he probably was talking about this, right? You can put them next to each other, but it slows down the cards. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Locked on.
This sounds vaguely familiar. I ain't got time for that. Yeah. Well, you know, Ryan, you could also just not use 94 gigs of RAM. Like, what are you using that for? You know how much shit I do on my computer? You know what I've never done? Exceeded my 32 gigs of RAM.
Galm 1, missile launch.
To have more than you? Duh. Yeah, you know what I have never done? Used more RAM than I have. And I do a lot of memory intensive stuff. Be a dream for rendering.
Locked on.
Would it make it significantly faster? Because rendering, at least for me, is really fast right now on the new computer. Download more RAM. That always works when you need more. You do. Jess is the mem lord. Maybe if you're rendering a whole Pixar movie. Hey, you know what render did actually take a while? Was the MGS4 video. That render, I kind of knew that it would take a long time. I don't know how long it actually took. In all fairness, I don't. Because you know what I did? Because I finished the video like late at night. So I clicked the render and I turned off my monitors and I went the fuck to sleep.
Bandits in gun range.
But the estimate on it, it was going to take like an hour and 40 minutes to render out. So I'm assuming it took about that long. I'll just assume the estimate was right. Normally it's a little over, a little under, depending. But I'll assume it was accurate. It took like an hour 40-ish.
Radar lock.
Warning, the enemy's locked onto you.
I just need my PC mark score to be high. I don't know what my PC mark score is. Please, nobody actually try to download more RAM. I feel like download more RAM is at that point nowadays where everyone kind of knows it's a meme, but just in case. Yes, do not actually try to download more RAM. It doesn't work like that. I feel like it's up there with, like, you know, just delete System 32 and stuff like that in terms of meme status. I feel like everyone just kind of knows nowadays, but I could be wrong. There's always going to be someone, right? Someone who's just not encountered the meme before. Also, it's nowhere near as risky, but just personal recommendation. Never download McAfee. You'll regret it. You're welcome. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Alt F4 increases performance. Yeah. I still see the odd clip of a streamer getting, like, genuinely Alt F4'd by their chat, and I can't believe it. Like, especially as a streamer who plays games on stream, how do you fall for that? How, like, in 2024, who is falling for it? I like downloading malware. Also, never download a Riot game. Fuck, what's it called? Vanguard anti-cheat. I almost said antivirus. Vanguard anti-cheat. Fuck it. It's definitely just for content. No, dude, because sometimes, like, it happens and they're like, oh my god.
The mission to clear out remaining Belkan resistance was a
Back in the day, a $300 computer was unheard of.
In the report, rest assured that intelligence is looking into the matter.
Only an A? Probably a speed thing. I would have to assume it was a speed thing. That mission took forever. I didn't remember that mission when you said that that might be the worst one in the game, but I agree, that's probably the worst one in the game. That is like the classic Annihilation mission that's just way too fucking long. It doesn't really have anything happening. Like, it's just a boring, basic-ass mission.
Troops are converging on Belka's northeast coast of Anfang.
Oh, I remember this
The
one.
enemy is deploying land, sea, and airstrike teams.
I liked this one when I played it the first time. We'll see if it holds up.
And are adamantly resisting. In light of the current political situation, this mission will be a
I haven't seen a console killer PC that was actually the price of a console this entire gen. Right now, it's just not really a thing because components are expensive right now.
The Mars strike team will attack enemy naval vessels and surface troops along the coast. The Mercury
Steam Deck, kinda. I mean, it's not a proper console killer, but in terms of, like, all-around functionality, you could make an argument for Steam Deck.
This operation will begin at 1600 when the capitulation ceremony takes
Certainly.
place. Mars team will strike first,
Especially with,
followed by
like,
Mercury and then Jupiter.
how big the emulation scene for Steam Deck is.
Carefully which team you wish to join.
It's kind of like the Steam Deck can be any console you want it to be up until, like, PS3. At least if it runs RPCS3 well, I haven't heard that before. It could. I just haven't heard anyone say that it does. So I'm assuming, like, up until RPCS3 Xenia, it can really be whatever you want it to be. I think when I played this before, I think I did the half and half route, if I remember right. I distinctly remember shooting ships. Including air unit. Or was it this one? This is the only one that says vessels. I want the naval combat. Oh yeah, this was, because there's ground targets and yeah, this was definitely the path I did. The next gen Steam Deck, whenever that happens. Yeah, they're working on a new Steam Deck, right? Like, we've heard about it a little bit. I saw a dude try to run MGS5 on RPCS3 on a handheld PC, and the floor textures were going crazy, like 12 FPS. I don't get those videos. Because I've seen, like, that exact thing before, where people are like, wow, look at how well I got this old console game to run on like a low-end PC, like a low-end laptop or something. Like, let me just show you how well you can get it to run. And then it runs like ass with like the worst visual settings. Like, it's far from actually playable. 12 FPS is totally playable. At least that's what Nintendo thinks. Oh, he was just trying every emulator? Man, if you're doing PS3, why are you using MGS5 as a benchmark? Use like Demon Souls. Like a game that actually runs well on RPCS3. He didn't, okay, he didn't just, I was gonna say. I'm actually curious. Metal Gear Solid 5. How well does MGS5 run on RPCS3? If I go to the wiki, apparently, this doesn't give me a bench, like an idea of performance, but apparently there's only like a couple known issues, which is surprising to me. I didn't even know it was on PS3 until that video. It, hold on. Okay. I found a thread from only a couple years ago of a guy talking about it. What does he say? What kind of hardware he has? He doesn't. But he said he played through the entire game. And MGS5 is supposed to be like a 40-hour game from what I understand. And apparently, if he turned off some of the like visual effects and stuff, he was able to get it to like 55 to 60 FPS. If he didn't compromise on like the visuals, he was able to get like 30, 40 FPS. To this, I would say, get a Steam copy on sale. I actually recently bought it on sale, but I couldn't tell you how much it cost. Hold on. I'm going down this last tiny bit of the rabbit hole. This is common stream activity. Let me see the price history here. I recently bought Metal Gear Solid 5 for $5 on Steam. Actually runs on PC. Oh wait, I don't want qualms, do I? I want bombs. I wasn't thinking. Yeah, it runs natively on PC. I hear Fox Engine was pretty well optimized. Not sure how reliable that info is, but I've heard that. Haven't played it, but I heard it runs well on PC. $1 per number in the title. I bought Ground Zeroes with it for like $3, I want to say, going off of memory. I think they were like $8, $9 together, something like that. So really, it's like you could get like a fairly accurate PS3 version of the game running on PC at like 40-ish FPS for the most part. Or you could just pay $5 and play the Steam version. Just saying. It's it's $5. People, if you don't know, it's the clip of the Twitch streamer from years ago. I love it to death. Honestly, one of the like pieces of internet culture that I quote the most. It's that one woman on Twitch begging for subs, being like, it's $5. Can you not afford $5 a month? You shouldn't be in my stream. You should be working if you can't. I sit here and provide all this value every day. Emulation is free. It shouldn't be. Don't out yourself. It shouldn't be. I would say it's extremely well optimized. I'll just take your word for it. Oh. It's not supposed to be. It's more a can we emulate it than should we emulate it. I feel like if I was just doing it out of curiosity, and maybe I'm just probably not as into like the testing side as some people, surely. But I probably wouldn't play like, you know, let's say he's played it before, at least like 20 hours of game just to see if it runs well. But he's probably just more into like the testing and development side of emulation than I am. I'm an emulation enthusiast in terms of like preservation and upscaling and stuff like that, but not so much in like the testing and development side of things. Can you not waste your money on me? It's something. Because, you know, this is like the coldest take that I've had on stream in a long time. But when you stream on Twitch, you are knowingly streaming for free. Like, you're providing free content that if you provide good enough value, people will sub to your channel, right? You shouldn't expect people to sub. It's like, you know, I have a Patreon. I have channel members open. But I'm not sitting here like, you guys, I need more patrons. It's $1. I'm not. Although it is $1 for the wink wonk. I almost got shot down. Since I'm bringing it up already, it is $1. Japan keeps all the good stuff to herself. Chat can read the rest of that. I could get my name on there with just $1. Yeah, the end of video, like, roll. Just $1. It's true. Behind the scenes updates on the video production and how it's going, it's only $1. And I've even been upping the amount of updates per video lately, where I'm doing like 3 updates per video on average now, like 3 little like here's where I'm at and how things have been going updates. Which I actually, full transparency, I was nervous about the MGS4 video's production timeline. And I was like, I should maybe like try to get in the habit of doing more updates than I have been, like per video. Because otherwise the MGS4 video is going to have very long gaps of silence in between. And sure enough, MGS4 video took like 3 weeks. Just finished Portable Ops. Portable Ops is such a neat little game. Only one I actually beat was Assault Horizon. Most garbage one. Hey. Don't let everyone tell you it's the worst Ace Combat game, because it's not. What is the worst Ace Combat game? It's not Assault Horizon. I mean, Advance. But hold on. Let me go open the YouTube playlist and jog my memory. What is the worst Ace Combat game? Because I don't think it's Assault Horizon.
Between different countries will be greatly reduced.
Chat, okay. Brace yourself, because I'm gonna say something. But it's not coming from a place of malice, chat, okay? It's not. But like, Assault Horizon is a better video game than Air Combat, right? It is. Air Combat has everything that should have been there for the start. Like, for being a 3D flight game in 1995, it's great. But you play it nowadays, it's just not bringing the same package, right? It's one of those things where it's like, at the time, like relative to when it came out, it is better. But that's kind of the thing with like any PS1 game, right? Especially PS1 in terms of console games, and really just any late 90s game. When you start talking about like at the time was like the advent of 3D rendering technology in games. So yeah, at the time, like everything that came out in the late 90s, not literally, but figuratively, was pretty revolutionary, was pretty insane for when it came out.
It was a one-sided
Has an
treaty that
advantage.
heavily favored Osea.
One hell of a hot take.
The borders of the affected countries that fluxed greatly over the past years.
If I
finally
replay
settled down
Assault
at the
Horizon
cost
right
of
now,
many human lives.
it's bringing a lot more to the table than Air Combat is.
The
That's all I'm
shifted
saying.
to the tables,
All I'm saying.
and the politicians from all countries squabbled with each other over the rights to the underground natural resources, the initial cause of this war. 6 months passed without any developments. 6 months of void. I focused on this time period for the hidden truth laid there,
My cat started chirping.
and I learned that my pursuit of him was not a mistake.
Huh? I can't say which is better. Also, I would rather replay Assault Horizon than join Assault, personally. And like I said, Advance is Advance. It's there.
The top officers
If we're being real, Advance is the well.
calling their organization
Advance
the World with No Boundaries. The
is
forces
not the
bombed city
worst.
of Lumen, where the
What
cessation of
Northern?
hostilities treaty was
Someone help me out. Throw me a bone. The one that I didn't play
XBO.
because there was not even like enough for me to really. Northern Wings. There was so little to this game that I genuinely was like, I can't even make a video out of this.
Unidentified aircraft are
Like the
approaching
video is
our
gonna be like
base.
4 minutes long.
Quick, there's no time. Get into the
6 if I
enemy.
really stretch it. So I skipped it. This should be fine. They sound the same to my ears. They're fictional. I don't know. They are what they are. I'm not an Ace Combat lore guy. I'm nowhere near as into the story as a lot of Ace Combat fans. Like the story and the lore. Some of the lore is pretty neat. But I don't get into the narratives of Ace Combat as much as a lot of people do. I kind of want to fly the Mirage. Speaking of the God of War reboots, has anyone seen David Jaffe's meltdown about new Kratos. Because every time I see someone talking about how they dislike new God of War, it makes me think of that video. Which, if you haven't seen it, the David Jaffe meltdown. If you don't know David Jaffe, he's the original creator of the God of War franchise. Obviously, after what's it called? Ascension, actually, I think before Ascension he wasn't involved. Hold on, let me. When did he leave? I know definitely after Ascension he left, right? Oh, he also, I forget that he's also the Twisted Metal guy. Like, I always forget that. Oh, he left way earlier than I thought. He actually only was involved with God of War 1 and 2. This is an air-to-air mission. The Mirage will get her done. Trust me. The Mirage actually is not going to be a terrible option for this. Yeah, there's a video where Jaffe is talking about the new God of War. And he actually, like, when I say meltdown, I mean he legitimately, like, throws a fit over the direction of the new games, but particularly his big sticking point, his big issue with them is Kratos having, like, growth as a character and becoming a better person during the story. He's like, I don't want these characters to grow. This character isn't supposed to grow. But, and I'm far from the first person to point out this bit, like, Kratos did grow in the original run of the series. And he was always a family man. Like, that was always, like, I would even say a core character trait. So it's such a weird complaint. It kind of just reeks of, I don't want to, maybe that's too critical. I was going to say it kind of reeks of jealousy. But, like, it kind of does come off that way if you watch it. Because it's not, like, it's intellectually, intellectually, I'm talking too fast, inconsistent. Because, like, he's complaining about aspects that were there, but are just more, like, front and center in the new games. And it's weird. Because I have a vague idea of Kratos' growth in the new games, and it seems like an amazing direction to take his character after the original run. It seems like one of the few cases of, like, the reboot taking a character in a different direction and it actually being, like, a really good idea to go in that direction. Because we got, what, like 6 games of just angry, murderous Kratos? Having Kratos, like, get old and mature and kind of, like, calm down and start to look at things outside of just himself kind of makes sense. So that's also just kind of what happens when you get older, like, as a person. Is you kind of chill out a little bit and you see things differently. If it was like Doomslayer, it would be fucking stupid, right? But Kratos did have a little more going on than literally just being angry man. He was mostly angry man, but he had a little more. There was some depth to it, always. There was actual substance behind it. Doomslayer is legitimately angry because angry. Kratos had motivations behind being angry. He had, like, genuine reasons for being angry. How did he end up in the games industry? He sucks ass at any game he plays. Making games and playing games are very different skill sets. I get more stressed out the older I get. I don't mean chill out, like, entirely in general. I mean, like, in terms of being, what's the word? in terms of like Kratos sort of thing, right?
Galm 2, commence the attack on XPO.
In Kratos' case specifically,
It's the only way to prevent a world
as you grow older, you kind of get like less angry at the world, sort of like Kratos was genuine, burn it all to the ground, and a lot of people when they're like
Wait, we're engaging friendly
20 to 30 can definitely be that way, but at a certain point you kind of just chill out,
cease attack immediately.
right? More mellow. Yeah. He definitely can still go ham, but he's just not as quick to jump to it, right? He's more rational. He's less emotional. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's a good way to put it. Like as you get older, you start thinking a little more with your brain and a little less with your heart, typically speaking. Like the majority of people do. Not everyone, but the majority. This thing is fast for an attacker. I love the Mirage. This is an attacker that this could really be a multi-role. Air to air in this thing feels perfectly fine. It's so nimble. It doesn't have air to air special weapons, and that holds it back, but like that's kind of the one thing holding it back air to air wise. Other than that, it's pretty good for the cost. With life insurance costs how they are. Are those underneath? They are. Oh. Okay. This is a tricky bitch. Huh? That looked great to me. The fuck? There. That one was a little weird. Just a Mirage that's more air-to-ground oriented. It feels perfectly fine for air-to-air. Like if it had even just one air-to-air special weapon, it would be perfect. It would be absolutely a multi-role, right? There's no way it wouldn't be. I think in other games, it is a multi-role, right? Probably the easiest flying fortress in the series. Probably. I'm kind of just doing the most brain-dead flying possible, and it's working. Joys of having a mortgage. Like, there is no thought going into this flight. Is weed still illegal in the UK? That kind of surprises me. I feel like the UK strikes me as a country that would have adopted it by now. I mean, I guess here in the US, it's still a work in progress. It's not entirely there. It's mostly there in the US now. Creeper? Is that Creeper? Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Crepper, maybe? I don't know. We're boring unless I missed something. Yeah, it's recreational here in Minnesota now, But the industry hasn't really gotten here yet because the way.
Yo, buddy, you still alive?
Yeah. The way that what's it? That marijuana is currently legal in the US. It's federally legal for medical purposes, but not recreational. So if you're in a state where it is recreational, it can be sold at like a smoke shop or a dispensary or anything like that to anyone of smoking age, so 21 here. But because it's not federally legal, they can't ship in product from outside of the state. So once it becomes recreationally legal in a state, like the industry has to actually go there and like set up farms for it within the state before shops can really start to carry it. So I know that here I have one buddy who's a huge pothead, like huge, daily. And this is the reason that I know how all of this works is because of this buddy. But yeah, it has to be grown within the same state that it's sold in currently. It is the TLDR on it because of all that. Also, thank you, Creeper. Yes, drug bad, drug bad. I don't smoke.
We have confirmed that the aircraft that attacked our base.
Thanks, YouTube algorithm. Many
World
Ace
with
Combat
no
streams.
boundaries. This highly organized renegade army is comprised of soldiers from numerous countries, including Osea, Sapin, and of course,
I'm
Belkan.
very thirsty.
They are believed to possess a massive arsenal of weapons. The coup forces are gathered at Mud in northern Belkan, where they've confiscated the Avalon Dam facility.
Maybe I've been
from the
yapping
Belkan
too
Army.
much.
What's worse, we've discovered that this facility
$1
houses
a
experimental
smoke?
V2 weapon.
Jesus.
Unfortunately, it took us a long amount of time to uncover this information due to the facility's location beneath the dam's waters. Proceed immediately to Avalon and destroy the V2 weapon. Note that B7R blocks your route from Valet Air Base to Mud.
It's
You'll
fine.
most likely encounter fierce resistance from the crew forces of both B7R and Mud. Remember to be prepared for attacks from land, air, or else.
Rubiconian blunt rotation.
This mission will succeed upon the destruction of the V2.
How many Ace Combat streams do they talk about like the legality of the marijuana trade?
Is unacceptable.
I feel like we're fulfilling a niche here right now. These last few minutes. That would actually be pretty nice right about now. Not gonna lie. Thank you for the sub, Keegan. It's crazy how much shorter 0 is than 5. It is way shorter. It's like half as long, I would say. How many war crimes have you committed? None. None. YouTube. We are not a community that commits war crimes. No. Absolutely not. Not here. Bro did not pay attention. Well, on one playthrough, I actually just recently, there was a detail that I missed in MGS4, and someone commented on it pretty early on. So I gave a bit of the behind the scenes thing, right? When I'm doing the videos, I'm taking notes as I go, right? So sometimes, if I'm in the middle of taking notes as they're speaking, which happens a good bit, a little too much power goes to the note taking and not enough to the listening. So like a little detail will be missed. And when that happens, sometimes there is a small disaster in the script as a result, and that would probably be one of them. Was the understanding that I had of a world with no borders on my first playthrough of 0.
Pass through B7R. It's an awful place, but the fastest shortcut. Maintain current course.
Who would win in a fight? I don't think I can say either out loud. At least I'm going to play it safe, and I'm not going to. And I'm going to clear the message.
Enemy aircraft detected close to area B7R.
Probably the first one,
There's no time to change course. Eliminate enemy forces.
but the second one has a good chance.
They have different ID signals in Belka.
But probably the first one. With no boundaries.
Target confirmed.
Look, I'm working on a Peace Walker video, okay? Come on.
Even think about heading back.
I mean, I'm what? You guys hear anything? That was weird.
So you're the demon lord. I've been waiting for
That's right.
Stop attacking.
Whoops. I misunderstood what mission I was doing here.
Come on, Ocean aircraft. Can't you read your IFF? We're allies, not enemies. Whatever their reasons, some
I should pull up the polling for the next review series because some crazy shit has been happening on that poll
and shoot 'em all down.
that I think we should go over. You brought air to ground. To be fair, I'm flying the Mirage. Mostly for fun. I should have staggered that second shot more. But it only has air to ground. And I also thought that this was the second to last mission, not the third, to be honest with you. I thought we were one mission ahead of where we are.
What do you mean?
I was yapping too much.
I'm a resident of the world with no boundaries, and I will eliminate the false hero. Don't be fooled by his plane. Missile evaded. Bandit down.
As in Yakuza being 23 votes ahead of Halo. Honestly, that, like, as crazy as that is, there is far crazier shit going down on that poll that are less noticeable if you're not looking beyond, like, the winner. Never use anything other than the F-15. I try to use, like, some lower end planes, or just some planes that I don't use often when we do the lower difficulties, like hard and expert. A, for the variety, and B, you know, we save the best planes for the ace playthrough, of course.
What are you doing? The war's ended long
It's only natural. And it has led to some great moments, like the legendary Fishbed versus Rimfaxi fight in AC5, or A10 versus Arkbird fight in AC5. That one was also pretty good. Definitely didn't take like an hour to do that one, trust me. Oh, I lost it. I thought I still had. Ow, fuck! 78%. A10 versus Arkbird, never forget. It was legendary. The Fishbed was also pretty good. Oh, this guy is so cooked. Oh, no, he pulled. Never mind.
Missed the target.
Oh, shit. All right, we're hitting with a missile. I don't think there's a ton of them left anyway. No way he pulled away from that. What a maneuver. There's 3 of them left, I think.
If you're going down, crack him down with you. Galm 1, missile evaded.
How did you miss that? I also can't remember where it was, but when I was writing the World with No Boundaries bit, like in the script, I went out for some light Googling, and I don't know if I pulled that like from something that was said or like just inferred it from, I don't remember. But like, I know I read a bit of the wiki, I read a couple forums, like all as I was writing that bit.
Enemy forces have suffered considerable damage. Galm Team,
because I remember sitting there and being like, what was the motivation for this group? When I actually like sat down to write it from the notes. And I don't remember what I saw, but I saw something that led me astray. We'll see you around, Jess. Stop trying. I'm not trying. I mean, I don't feel the need to justify shit because it's just I was wrong. It happens. But I'm just telling you what happened. Oh, fuck. I got clipped hard there. Okay. Hold on. This works. Intermission. Let me go to here and pull this up. I don't think I've checked it today. Okay, yeah. So some wacky, wild stuff has been happening on the review series poll. Right? Let's check this out. Some wacky stuff. Because this is what I was saying for a long time when everyone was like, oh, we're maybe doing Yakuza or Halo. And I was like, you guys, wait. Because things will swing when the Metal Gear audience starts voting. Like, wildly. Things are going to change a lot. And things have changed a lot. In 3 days of me sending this out to the Metal Gear audience for the first time, shit has changed a good bit. The top 2 have stayed. Everything else has been shaken up, pretty much. Like, everything else has gone out of whack. Legend of Zelda is in 3rd and only trailing Halo by 4 votes. It's not just in 3rd. It is on pace to take 2nd place. Currently. Also making crazy moves. Shockingly. Like, out of nowhere, I wouldn't have predicted this one at all. Resident Evil. This thing was in, like, 15th place. No bullshit. Like, this was not even top 10. It's in 4th place. Again, only 2 votes behind 3rd. Like, still kind of making its way up at a good pace. This will probably take 3rd. This has a good chance to surpass Zelda, I would say, because Zelda had more votes going in. I think Zelda was like number 8 or something before. Now it's up to number 3. Resident Evil was way lower. So I would honestly say Resident Evil, my prediction, give it another like week or so. And especially like wait until I send this out to the Metal Gear stuff again. This might pull ahead of Zelda. Wherever Zelda ends up, like if Zelda does go to 2nd, I would even say that Resident Evil might move to 2nd. My prediction. Hello, Yuriko. DMC has returned to the top 5. It was a top contender back when we did Armored Core. It was not doing so hot, polling for the Ace Combat stuff. But it's back in top 5. And again, not far behind. What's weird here is like Halo's still pretty up there. Yakuza has continued to go up. And it might seem like Yakuza is absolutely dominating. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that you need to consider. I would say Yakuza, of course, it's the furthest ahead right now. And by a good margin. There's not an easier way. I could grab it. Check this out. Boom. It's a vote. It's like a check all that apply. If anyone goes and votes on this right now. Also, this is for videos. So if you're not into the videos, I ask that, or if you are going to vote, only vote if you actually are like, oh yeah, I would watch the videos if we did this sort of thing, you know? That's all. PSA on that. There's a reason I don't throw it around on stream often. And it's because stream audience and video audience can be pretty different. Whole thing, right? Pin it to general? No. The reason I keep it exclusively to videos is like, the people who watch the videos are the people who are going to continue to watch the videos. I could poll like everywhere and try to get like a handful of more people into watching the videos. But then what if like the data sways in a weird way because of polling coming in from other factors, and like I lose more people than I gain, sort of thing? There's a whole lot with data when we start factoring. It might sound minor, but it's really not. Because also, you know, like, how many votes does this have? 4,600 votes? This only is actually voted on by like a small portion of the people who even watch the videos. So even then, this isn't a perfect representation of that audience. It's just as close as I can really get it to be. Anyway, data stuff is really a pain in the ass. But what I'm saying with these three, especially, because Stalker was number 3 and has dropped a lot, I would say these 3, give it another few days, and especially give it like another 2-4 weeks, because this is going to continue to be pulled for like another month, right? Give these a few more weeks. I would say any one of these 3 could easily be first place. Because Yakuza went up by like 25 votes. And that's not nothing. Halo went up by like 10 votes. Or sorry, I think like 12. These went up by a lot of votes. Like 50 plus at least for all of these. So if we're looking at like the pace, which is very important, I've learned this in my time doing YouTube. It's not about where things are right now. It's about where things are trending and the pace at which they're trending. I'm pretty sure Halo is doomed. I think Halo, full honesty, might drop to be like number 5. I don't think it'll leave the top 5, but I think it's going to drop a lot. I fully believe that any of these 3, and if I was really betting, all of these 3 will pull above Halo, and at least one of them will dethrone Yakuza, is my bet right now. Now, if I were saying which one of these would I want to win, because I know someone's going to ask it. Someone always asks it when I bring up this stuff. Halo was one that I was very fond on the idea of for 2 reasons. It's one of my favorite gaming franchises, right? That helps. But also, these are short games. Like, the longest Halo game is Halo Infinite, and it's like 12 hours, right? These are much shorter than what I've been doing recently, and there's less of them. It's not as intensive. It's not as huge of a commitment. Because Halo, there's what, 6 mainline games, 2 Halo Wars games, and 2 like mobile spin-offs that are actually pretty decent if you've never touched them. Those little like Windows Phone games that they eventually brought to PC and console, they're actually pretty good. If you ever get them for like $1, they're kind of worth it. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, so there's like 10 games and 2 of them are literally like 2 hours long. Like a lot to talk about in those 2 hours, kind of like an MGS mobile kind of video, where it's like, this is a tiny game, but there's a lot to actually talk about, sort of thing. This would actually be the shortest review series that I've done. You never shut up about Ari? We'll get there. Zelda is Zelda. Everyone loves Zelda who's played it, for the most part. Not everyone. Most people who have played Zelda are like, oh, fuck yeah, I love Zelda, right? Because it's kind of hard not to. They vary a lot in terms of length. There are a lot of games, so it's a big commitment. But like, Zelda is consistently really good. I would have a good time doing Zelda, even though it would be a lot of work. Yakuza, I have no idea. I think that this franchise varies in quality a lot. I know that it's a ton of work. This one scares me a little bit. Resident Evil, shorter games. It is my personal favorite gaming franchise of all time. If you don't know the lore, it is Resident Evil. Like, as an entire franchise, that's my favorite gaming franchise. Here's the thing. Resident Evil's mainline games, even when they miss, the miss is like Resident Evil 6, where the game is actually perfectly competent and okay as a game. It's just not as good as the rest. Resident Evil has some of, I would say Resident Evil has the best remakes in gaming, like in the entire industry. Resident Evil has a lot going for it. Here's the thing. Resident Evil has a lot of games. Like, you include the spin-offs, you know, like, even if we just did mainline, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 mainline games. And a lot of people would consider Revelations 1 and 2 to be mainline. So 16 mainline games. That's not even including like Gun Survivor or Survivor in the West, or Gaiden, which is a Game Boy game, or Dead Aim, which is basically Survivor 3, Outbreak 1 and 2, which are actual like old school fixed camera resi games, but they're co-op with up to like 5 players over network, where you all have to like work together to get through shorter, like hour and a half long campaigns. Really interesting games. Like, the spin-offs get pretty interesting, but fuck, there are so many Resident Evil games. Like, this commitment is insane. Just a ridiculous commitment. So that one kind of scares me. It's like, upside, some of my favorite games ever. Downside, this is so much work. DMC, great middle ground. Some of my favorite games ever. There's like 6 of them. That's it. There's one stinker. They aren't very long. DMC, it's nice and short, and it's consistent. 7? What's the 7th? What do you mean 7? Oh, fuck. You're right, 7. I know what you mean. Never mind. Never mind. 7. I forget that one exists. Haven't played it. Maybe someday. Peak of Combat, yeah. And that would actually be funny. It's like how I'm actually doing Metal Gear Survive as the finale of the Metal Gear series, despite the fact that everyone and their mom is like, we don't need a Survive video, but I'm going to do one. Because of course I am. You think I'm going to skip that opportunity? Yeah, it means you'd have to do an RE6 review. Well, here's the thing. I like Resident Evil 6. And I will never back down from liking Resident Evil 6. I like it in the way that I like, what's it called? Give me a second. Ace Combat Assault Horizon. It's like, is this completely different from the rest of the series? Yeah. Is it a really fun, stupid action game? Fuck yes. It's really big and stupid and dumb, but also like, you look at it and the things that you're doing are really cool, and it's a good time. It's a good time. I like it like that. Also, Resident Evil 6 actually has amazing third-person combat. If no one has ever heard this before, and you've only ever heard like the parroting of like, oh, Resident Evil 6 is awful, like just irredeemably bad. The third-person shooting and like combat mechanics are actually really fucking good in Resident Evil 6. Like, if it were just a third-person shooter, it would be pretty amazing. It's because it's a Resident Evil game that it gets shit for it. But like, it plays really well. Just the core gameplay of RE6 is actually really good. It's just that it feels wrong for like a Resident Evil game. It tonally, it's not what you would think it should be. It's Ace Combat Assault Horizon, literally. I brought up RE6 in that video. Like at the end, in my conclusion, I was like, yeah, I like this the way I like RE6. Is it what I expect from the series? No. Did the series already course correct and I'm looking at this retroactively and like it's just a big fun game that's pretty good if it weren't being compared to the others in the series? Yes.
Yeah, Cipher just snagged a bandit.
Thought mentioning all of them would be excessive. I would be very down for Metroid. There's a solid amount of Metroid games, but not like an absurd amount. There's like what? I have to think because I'm not super familiar with Metroid. I want to say there's like roughly 6 or 7, or sorry, 6 or 7 like 2D games, right? And like 6 or 7 3D. Metroid Pinball will probably not. No. I'd say about 20. Really? That's more than I thought. Oh, there's like a 3DS game or something that's a spin-off. There's like a Prime spin-off on 3DS, I think, that I was forgetting about. That sounds about right. But Metroid is also like one of those series that it's sort of like a if you know, you know sort of thing where it's like, oh yeah, Metroid goes really hard, really consistently. It's just never been Nintendo's like big critical darling. But like if you've played them, like they're really, really good. That's the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not doing pinball. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 including Prime 4. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, Trilogy wouldn't get a video. Pinball. No. Okay, maybe, but probably no. And I would do AM2R. So I guess 15 or 16 if I did that one. Yeah, I've seen AM2R, and it looks very much worth talking about. In preparation for Metroid Prime 4, which will never be released. Hey, I fully believe that Prime 4 is at least going to be an early game for the new Switch, if not a launch title. But I would say more conservatively, like within the first 3 years of the new Switch. Because as many times as the development has reset, they were hiring like a year ago. And we know that the Switch 2 was supposed to release this year, like late this year, but it got delayed because they're waiting to have more of a launch title like lineup. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, imagine the press and like the first week, first month sales if they dropped Prime 4. Like if they were giving time for Prime 4 to be a launch title. I think it's pretty likely, but like 70%. Yeah, like it. 3. Boom, 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 boom. That was insane. I'd have assumed you wouldn't do fan games. It's sort of like every once in a while there's a fan game that deserves it. And before anyone brings up Project Wingman, quite frankly, Project Wingman was not worth it when I could have just called it there and gone all in on Metal Gear for the time being. I've talked about this before. Depends on the success of the series, but AM2R would be one of the few fan games that like actually deserves to be talked about. Around mid to late next year. Last that we heard from leaks, we were hearing Q1 of next year. Nintendo put out a statement. Hold on. Nintendo acknowledged the Switch 2. And if I remember right, hold on. I think that what they said is that they're going to be unveiling the system sometime this year. Wasn't that what they said? Hold on. Nintendo tweets a lot. Oh my god, and this was like a couple weeks ago. No. I'm going to find it. It's important. What if I just go to articles? They're announcing it within the fiscal year. Okay, fiscal year means that it could be anytime through like next March, I believe. Yeah, they said they would be announcing it within the fiscal year. Before April, I thought it was. Oh, because I guess it goes through March. Right. Not coming out 2024? I mean, we knew that from leaks already. We knew that it had gotten delayed out of the holiday season. Because we heard that, what, like 2 or 3 months ago? That it had been delayed out of the holidays? I think like 2. My time frame is really bad. I tend to think things were longer ago than they were. So probably like 2 months ago we heard that. Maybe 3, I don't know. But definitely saying that it's coming out next year at the very least is like, in my mind, you would be Captain Obvious if you were like, oh well, I predict it's coming out at least sometime in 2025. It would kind of be like, well, yeah, no shit. At this point, from what we know, like it was originally going to come out this year. The sources on that were really good sources. I mean, we're talking like the guys who did like the Tears of the Kingdom leaks kind of sources, right? Like those guys who were like, yeah, there's actually 3 maps in Tears of the Kingdom. There's one in the sky, there's the normal map, and then there's one underground. Like those kind of leakers. I don't think it was literally them, but like I'm saying the kind of guys who have leaked stuff in the past that was incredibly accurate and they leaked it far ahead of time. Like really good sources were saying it's coming out this year, but then they like a month later had to be like, oh wait, got delayed to Q1 internally. And it's because they're waiting for the software teams to have more ready for launch, meaning in game business speak, they're waiting to have more titles for launch. And they're waiting for more games, which is where I'm also like, I think it's Prime 4. At least one of the games I think is Prime 4 at the very least. If not at launch, I think Prime 4 will be on the earlier end of the system. Fuck me. Question is when next year? Yeah, it's the question currently is when in 2025 does it come out? I would say, I don't know. It really depends on the software team. New systems come out and they're just paperweights. PS5 much? I mean, what? That's... You guys hear anything? That was weird. Actually, both of the new gen consoles had that, didn't they? Because what did Xbox have at launch? Like, Forza? Xbox always has Forza, right? It's basically a yearly franchise at this point. Forza. They had Forza. Well, they were going to have Halo Infinite pre-delay. Right? Halo Infinite was going to be a launch title for the new Xbox, and that probably would have helped a lot with like sales and stuff early on for them. But Halo Infinite, quite frankly, was not ready when we saw the like gameplay demo a few months beforehand. whole community was like, you guys need more time, and they actually got Microsoft to give them another year. And Halo Infinite came out really good, aside from like lack of multiplayer variety. Other than that, game came out great. I still don't see a reason to get a PS5 or Series. Me neither. Like, there's more reason for PS5 as someone who's currently on PC, but even then, it's like, do I want to spend that money on the few games that I would actually want to play right now on PS5? And one of the biggest games that I almost legitimately bought a PS5 for was Spider-Man 2. But Spider-Man 2 has now come and gone, and community consensus is like, yeah, it's fine. It's the first game again. So it's good, it's nothing new, really. So it's like, oh, okay, I don't need it for Spider-Man 2 then, I can wait. And like, what else? I haven't played God of War 2018 yet, personally. I would say God of War is like a game that could sell it, like Ragnarok, but for me, I haven't played 2018 yet, so that's not a driving factor. And that's about it, to be honest. Demon Souls remake, I guess, but like, I have the PS3 version. The games play the exact same. It's just a graphics upgrade, so I'm not exactly chomping at the bit for it. Boundaries. I'm gonna keep calling them World with No Borders for the record. It's going to happen. Ah! Come on. Rest in peace to everyone who thought we were finishing the campaign today. First, I pulled up the poll for review series stuff to talk about that, because there's some real wackiness happening that was worth talking about. And then I have just gotten shot down like 3 times doing this, because these guys are wild. I didn't think that was gonna hit me. I thought I was safe. Just you wait until Mario Kart 8's Deluxe Super Shit, or whatever it will be called, comes out. I hope they do a new Mario Kart. I really do. Didn't think you'd use an attacker for this mission. It's a perfectly fine attacker for air-to-air. I don't think I would be doing considerably better in air-to-air. A little better, but not like night and day difference. This thing's pretty mobile. A special weapon would help. But this thing is like the most air-to-air attacker, probably. At least from what I've played up to this point. The new last new Mario Kart was the Wii U one. Yeah. They just re-released it to Switch and gave it a bunch of DLC and stuff over the years. Which, like, it's so weird. Some of the biggest games in the Switch's library are Wii U games that are just like re-released with upgrades. Like Mario Kart, Smash, Breath of the Wild. A lot of the Switch's like heavy hitters in the library are actually just Wii U games. It's just that no one bought a Wii U because why would you? Was it a... Oh, no, it wasn't. Never mind. I was gonna say, was it Jay's Reviews that recently did like the video talking about the legacy of the Wii U? like the launch and like why it just immediately flopped and all that. But I think that was Geek Critique, not JAE. Smash Ultimate is not a Wii U game. Oh, sorry. Smash Ultimate is a 3DS game, isn't it? Or no, it is Wii U and 3DS. My family bought a Wii U. I'm sorry. I mean, it like just riding off the Wii. Ultimate is Switch. Yeah, but Ultimate like pulled over the core game from the Wii U Smash. I can't remember what it was called. And a lot of the character roster was pulled over and unchanged. Ultimate just added like more characters and stages. And I think the story mode, right? Like World of Light, is that what it's called? Smash just added a lot of stuff on top of it. Or, sorry, Ultimate just added a lot of stuff on top of it. It's just in the same engine. It's very different, is it? I've always heard the opposite. Because I actually, as much as I don't really play Smash, I weirdly really enjoy watching competitive Smash Bros. Particularly Melee. I don't watch a ton of Ultimate, but there's crossover. I mostly like watching Melee more because if we're being, the Melee players are just built different, if we're being honest. Like even when they go and play Ultimate, they typically are just better than the Ultimate guys. Because most of the Melee guys are OG as fuck, is kind of the main reason. It's like the difference between CODs. Isn't it less different than the difference between CODs though? Oh, actually, wouldn't it be, this is great, thank you for COD. Wouldn't it be like the difference between new MW2 and MW3? Where are my COD bros at to help me out? Wouldn't it be, like, in terms of COD, the most comparable to that? Comparable. I speak good English sometimes. Normally after I catch myself speaking bad English, but I do. Oh god. You said that just to piss off Nintendo nerds? No. Maybe. But no. I do like watching competitive Melee though, for the record. That is completely genuine. I really like watching competitive Melee. Oh, that's nice. I'll take it. Like Twitter rage bait? Which one? Which one exactly are we talking about? Because it might have been. If it was like the Smash, or sorry, the Melee players are better than the Ultimate players, that was not a meme. That's just a genuine thing. Like seriously, they do a bunch of crossover events where it's like, oh, let's get the Melee guys playing Ultimate with the Ultimate players, and they do like teams, right? And the Melee guys almost always win. They've just got like 20 years of fundamental Smash Bros behind them. It's like Tekken, right? Like if you've got someone who is new to competitive Tekken with like 7 or 8 playing against someone who got in during like 5, the guy who played 5 is gonna win. The Smash 4 and Ultimate to the MW2, MW3. No, that was genuine, right? Because it's like core game pulled over with a bunch of additional content and with tweaks made to the core gameplay that make it feel different, even though it is like the same game. Because with MW2 and MW3, like historically, the game MW3 started out as Sledgehammer was simply supposed to make an expansion pack for MW2, but then they got ahead on their work like really quickly during the development cycle. So they said, okay, actually do more and we'll just upgrade it to a full $70 release. And that's exactly what they did. It was going to be a DLC, but they got the DLC done so quickly that they were like, oh, make more. And we'll just upgrade the package. Make more money off of it.
You can't return to base yet. After refueling in flight, proceed to Avalon and destroy your target.
And I've gone on record before as the apparent COD shill of the chat. I bought MW3 for $70 and, you know, I feel like it's fine in terms of like the package. It feels like I got a solid enough amount of content to justify it. Because it was like every MW2 map, whole new roster of weapons, whole new zombies mode, a campaign that I didn't touch because apparently it's dog shit, but it's there.
To deal with this, the Allied squadron will draw anti-aircraft fire.
I know that Smash was always going to be a separate game. It's Nintendo, but I'm more saying like it's the same core game with like all the base stuff pulled over, with a bunch of new stuff, and with that base stuff kind of tweaked, right? That's more what I was getting at, and then I just started rambling about COD. It happens.
With a nuclear warhead, the destruction caused by its single warhead will most likely.
One guy's dad in chat who whoops your ass is because he's been playing Tekken since the old games. Yeah, Yan's dad, who has been playing Tekken since like Tekken 1 or 2. I never got an exact answer, but I know that it was before Tekken 3 at the very least. He started with 1 or 2. So he started back on the PS1. You could figuratively say it about any sequel. I mean, literally. Like, these are a couple cases where, especially like MW3, it is legitimately, like, the core game of MW2 is there. It's like how AC5 is to 0, right? Whereas like a normal game sequel, that is typically how they start development, but normally they become so different that it's not how it comes out feeling like as a final package, if that makes sense. Like a more typical sequel would be like AC5 to 6, I guess. Or sorry, 0 to 6 in terms of the mainline games, right? Where it's like, yeah, they probably just pulled over like Zero's core, like code and engine and all that. But then, or maybe they moved it to a new engine, I don't know, assets to start building out functionality, but then it becomes something entirely different. Sometimes that doesn't really happen, and sometimes it stays pretty much the same. In the cases of like Ultimate or MW3 or AC0. Or like the Armored Core expansions. Those are much more similar because I mean, they're sold as individual games. We all know that they're expansions, but they are sold as like its own entire package. So just to humor them. Oh God. Oh God. Shockingly, it's a bit harder. You also used God mode? What is with my chat and cheating in Hades? This is crazy. If you don't know, one of my mods, Cipher, is a huge fan of Hades. But then randomly, one of the other mods, Mikkel, ratted him out to me that he apparently used God mode. Because Cipher always gives me shit for being bad at Hades. like when I'm streaming Hades 1 back in the day or when I've been playing 2 recently, he gives me shit for being bad at it, but then Mikkel dropped this bomb that Cipher played the game using God mode. And immediately I was like, oh, none of what you said ever had any credibility to it. You cheated. You cheated. Played through it and I've never even heard of it. Hades, you've played through Hades and never heard of God mode. It is that time. I don't know why I refueled. It is that time to stream Star Wars games at some point. Definitely. It is the easy mode. Yeah. I want like briefing music or something. Don't just give me silence. But yeah, suddenly we learned that Sepper's been talking all this shit and he played the game on easy mode. Now that's good music. Anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, and you haven't done so already, feel free to go ahead and leave a sub. Come back another time. We're doing this. We're doing... What am I doing? Oh, Devil May Cry stuff tomorrow. We're going to be doing Devil May Cry 2 hard mode as Dante. Which is going to be... hopefully not a shit show, but probably a shit show. It's DMC2 S ranks. It's normally a shit show at some point. It's just a matter of how long before it becomes bad, rather than will it become bad. So we'll see how that goes. What else have we been doing? Armored Core, Ultra Kill, Metal Gear, Hades 2 specifically, because it's good. It's real good. Feel free to come back for any of that. Also, if you enjoyed and you haven't done so already, feel free to go ahead and leave a like. Algorithm stuff, blah blah blah. You know how it goes. If you're looking for links to anything outside of YouTube to engage with the community, check out links in the description. Things like Twitter, Discord server, things like that are down there. If you haven't seen the MGS4 video yet, or if you're behind on any of the Metal Gear videos, the playlist is pinned at that top chat message right now. You see it. If you expand it, it's there. Check that out if you're interested. Other than that, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope to see you always back here next time. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you for coming to the stream. Splatoon is baby's first third-person shooter, and goodbye.